That's today's date. And today's segment is nothing really special, to be honest. It's just one lack of seeing YouTube content, and I know my girlfriend is not approved me to this sort of videos, and she encouraged me to talk about it, and I talk to her, but she gets really angry. And I think in relationship, you do go through that sort of phases that nobody listens, and whether I'm wrong, whether she's right, we cannot get to the phase that we can be evenly accept the mistake or dominate one or the other or using force or yelling abuse or maybe potentially in the future maybe getting started to hit. Now, a bit about myself, all right? I'm coming from a hometown called Shantou in China. Now, this home is known for very, very patriarchal. It is known for woman is very submissive, and people who knows about where I'm from, they all know what the guys are like, and many of them wants to marry girls from there because they're very, very submissive. But other province or other parts of China would have wanted to distance away from me. But this relationship I didn't inherit from my father or my mother, because I saw how my father and my parents divorced, and I saw what my mother has gone through, and for that traumatized and never opened her up. And that is something that I've started to realize I cannot inherit that sort of behavior. Instead of that, I'll have to use, just calm voice and just have some common sense. Try to talk her through. And now today's event. So it happened yesterday. So it happened. The reason why I've put the title in Chinese is because I know my girlfriend goes through my videos, and maybe she won't go through this title. Okay, uh, it's basically saying diary number one. Basically, that's translation. So that's it. Okay, so the story is about. It's not. It wasn't a story. It happened yesterday. Yesterday, 18th of June. So it was close to end of financial year, and I think you know she always mentioned she wants a brand new car. She doesn't want a second-hand car, even a year or 2-year-old car. No, she does not want it. I tried my best to persuade her. I tried my best to have some common sense to her, where if you buy a year or two old car of the same model, you can get even better luxury features. But no, she wanted brand new because she has gone through, you know, two previous cars that's gone through a lot of repairs, and she's sick and tired. And I told her, 1 or 2 year old car still has warranty. No, she's still not buying to it. And it's very frustrating for me, because no matter whether it's a house or car, it wears and tears over time. Regardless if it's brand new. Yes, if it's brand new, it doesn't wear and tear as quickly. There's a lifespan, but it does happen, unfortunately. For example, it's like the same thing with maybe bad foundation and structure as current news at the moment with mascot towers, apartments, cracking foundation and things like that. So I wasn't too happy. We are close to 30 years old. Back to the story. We're 29 this year. Next year we're 30 years old, and I wish that today, or maybe not. We're not buying the car today because I told her about this car's $10,000 cheaper, but it doesn't look nice, but it has the functions of what you've imagined. It's reliable. It's a great car. This and that. And I try to make common sense to her, but I don't think girls work that way. I think girls works very, very differently. And there's nothing much I can say about it. And I honestly do not want my missus to buy a brand new car. I do not want it because now and she wants to get finance. Why don't she use the money that she have and buy a $10,000 car maybe 2 years old, or 5 years old, or 7 years old. I don't know, 8 years old. Like because once you buy a brand new car, the value goes down the moment you drive off, and it's not me that who makes this sort of this sort of rules. That's life. That's reality. And one thing that I don't really appreciate from her is, she's been living, with her sisters. Her sisters pretty much guide her everything about her life, every all the way through. And she doesn't have that self autonomy or any independence or life skills because she hear is here, and she listens, she follows, she's a follower. And it's hard for me to imagine whether I wanted to get married with her or have a future with her, because if her sister have that much influence, I'm very, very scared. Now, this is later down the track on the story that I'll mention. Okay, so I've blabbered on in 6 minutes. Let's get to the real story. Okay. Now, first things first, no fucking shit. All of us, man or woman, we all want brand new stuff. Don't get me wrong. She said the same thing. And I said to her, yes, I do agree. But sometimes in life, it's what you can afford, because that's life, right? You got to be reality, realistic thinking. You can't always say anything. What's coming out of her mouth is, I want a brand new car, I want a brand new house, because she's seeing the same thing with her sister. But what she doesn't get is her sister is their partner's earning fucking good money, man. We're not even there yet, man. I don't think I'll get even that close to that pay. And we have to be realistic with how much we earn, how much we can save, and everything, and balance it out. So the story is this. I know it's 7 minutes. Yesterday is the end of financial year. I've been hearing her. All she wanted is a brand new car, and and I and I admit it. She needs a new car, but not new. But she needs a new car. Her old car, it's already 17, 18 years old. It's time for retirement for that car. And she's going to long distance driving, and she wants to save fuel, and as well better kilometers out of the fuel tank. Now the fact that is, she's going further distance, but that is like three times, she's going back and forth often. She definitely needs a new car, don't get me wrong. But the fact that I say, it's close to the end of financial year, and next week is our last week. May as well just, in the last couple of weeks, I try to push her to go for a new car, or I didn't have time, but yesterday, out of nowhere, went to her house, boom, get out of bed and go for car hunting, just to see you know, what's the price is like and everything. And I asked her straight away, what sort of car are you into? What sort of brands? She's like Toyota. I'm like, fair enough. You like Corolla? I'm like, fair enough. We'll go to Corolla. The sexy new 2019 or 2018 or 2019 model Corolla is really, really sexy. I'm gonna let you know. The base model they were asking is 28,000, 2019 model, and there's 25,000 for 2018 model. Now, the problem with the 2018 model, it didn't have the color that she liked. At the end of the day, I cannot force someone to buy a car that the color that they don't like, or something that they don't like. You have to compromise, all right? So I'm like, all right, fair enough. If you like 2019 model, then you know what? You have the color that you like, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, all right? As long as you're happy, because this car is rest of your life, and this is the first time this car will be under your name, all right? Where she's coming from, Vietnam, you know, there is no way the amount of saving that she have, or buy a car, even if she can afford to buy a car, it's impossible for her to even pay it off. Or it takes longer, because communist country, they tax so bloody high on foreign car brands. All right, same as China as well. Okay, that's first things first. She likes the car, and she says it's too expensive. Then I say, let's go for Yaris. No, I don't like Yaris, because there's a thinner layer. And for the aluminium, or aluminum, that's what Americans call it. From the body shape, is it steel, or I don't know? It's the thinner. I don't like it. I'm like, you know what? That car is only 17,000. We can drive away 18,000. We can drive away with Yaris, and plus it's a fuel efficient. No, I don't like it because of this and that, because of the aluminum. And I'm just down like, fuck, this is so fucking bloody material. I'm just there, okay, fair enough. All right. I just stop it. I don't want to argue with it. This is our first car dealership. Let's go to another one. There's another one, Honda, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of like the body shape of the car." And I must admit, the interior looks bloody ugly. The way how the layout is ugly. But I told her, Honda is a very reliable car brand outside, and she's like, "I don't like the car. It looks boyish." And I'm just there. I'm like, "Oh my god, how I'm gonna, where I'm gonna help guide her through." We have a $28,000 car. Yaris, she didn't like it because of the thin layer of, the layer of, the steel or aluminium. She didn't like it because, but it's a chick car. But the Honda Jazz, I gotta admit, it's not girly girly, but she wants feminine car. And I'm just there. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And I was looking at the hatchback Civic that was costing 25,000. At least it's a lot more roomy than the Corolla. But she didn't like it. Okay, fair enough. Well, we had to straight away go back to, immediately have to go and see her sister because she needs translation in the bank. And I'm just there. I'm like, oh my gosh, we in the middle of car hunting, and we wanted, to have some idea because according to her sister, husband's been telling us car loan is very, very difficult and it's very, very there's a high standard. It's not like what it used to be before. Before it's like if you have 1,000, 2,000 deposit, you can get it. Nowadays, even you have 50 or 70% of the cash, they still need bank statement, and this is like a tedious process. Like you need 3 months bank statement of your, sorry, not bank statement, 3 months of your pay slips, and you're going to guide it through. And my sister and the missus always listen to the sister. That's what siblings do. And she's like, "Don't worry about it, just, you have more than 50% of the deposit. Don't worry about it. Just go through the car loan. Don't listen to William, this to me, this and that." And I said to her, "Okay, you know what? Let's just have a professional advice instead of having word because I'm getting two different answers. I'm getting one from your husband saying it's very hard. I trusted more of the husband side because the husband does everything for for the sister, everything what they did in this family. I trusted him, but for the sake of showing to my girlfriend, this is reality. You have to ask. You cannot just ask someone who's not in quality, who hasn't been through that stuff because times has changed, lending has changed. Bank right now, buy a home is different than it once it was before. Okay, that's blah blah. Okay, so I just wanted to guide her through. Go to Toyota and see if we can negotiate the price a bit, and then ask for a house, a home loan, and a car loan. You know, do we meet the requirements of the today's, the car loan standards? And that's what I wanted to do. And then she agrees to it, and we go there, middle way through, the sisters start calling you an idiot for doing this, just come back home, this and that. And I'm just there, I'm like, we had, I just arrived. And she got so angry. My girlfriend gets so fucking pissed. And I try to calm her down, try to put herself together and everything because, you know, we are there just asking. It's not like they're gonna put a gun in our head and say, "Sign that contract." She loves that Corolla. I listen to her, she really loves the Corolla. And don't get me wrong, I really like the interior and everything. I really like everything, but it's extra $10,000 compared to Honda Jazz, or less than 28,000, 25,000. You can get the Honda Civic hatchback. All right. Now I cannot put my mouth in her choice on deliver which car she wanted in her life because that car is for her to choose to drive until one day she wants to forfeit for the car one day. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to zip my mouth and put my head down. All right. I just do whatever I can to give her choice for once in her lifetime. All right. To give her the choice. And I'll never be pushy in life and everything like that. But the more our journey towards the Toyota dealership, the more calls I'm getting, she's getting from my sister saying, "You're idiot, you're stupid, this and that, go back home." And this sort of technique saying that, don't it's pretty much don't listen to Will, listen to me. It's more like a siblings fight, and I'm just there. I'm like, yes, we are interested in the car, but I know the fact that we are not going to get the car loan. I just wanted to know what what's the requirements, the standards. And I honestly thought it was, and this is my mistake. After the whole incident, and everything, uh, the the sister husband told me it doesn't. The way how the car loan works is not the same way as the mortgage home loan works, where you get pre-approval from the bank, and then you get it. You can pretty much can buy any property within the price range. Where a car is different. You go through them, you negotiate with the prices, then you go through the car finance and see what you can work out with 3 months pay slips and yada yada yada. Right? You go through all that, right? You go through all that and see whether you approve or not. Because, for example, if once the moment you get the car, you drive off, you already lose value. And each day it loses value. And when it loses value, let's just say you cannot afford to do weekly or monthly repayments, then your car get confiscated. What do the Toyota dealership or other car dealership has to gain back? Nothing. It's pretty much they made a loss, but your name is listed for 10 years, blacklisted for 10 years. Where house is different, where houses property goes up if it's a good time or bad time. A bad time, if it's recession, it goes down. The bank make a loss. And obviously you be blacklisted. But it's a better chances for the bank for the houses, where houses, it's a lot more secure and safe. No matter how old or how mold or how new, the prices still go up. Where if it's still, depending on the demographic of the area and things like that, blah blah blah. I'm saying that any car value goes down. Unless if it's a rare car collection and yada yada yada. And I'm just down my to my girlfriend, um, I just wanted to find out, because if we find out that you cannot borrow money, and what your sister husband's been telling me that difficult, and if we can find out by today, forget about everything about cars. We'll forget everything once and for all. We don't need to talk about cars anymore until you have the right amount of money and the requirements. All right. I don't want to think about it. All right. And she still couldn't pull herself up. And I didn't quite understand why. And I was like, oh my God, this is a headache now. And she was arguing. She's nearly cried. And I'm just there. I'm like, man, it's not like I'm making you signing 30 years contract of home mortgage. And I was in Toyota dealership car park and tried to fix her up. And we stayed there for 10 minutes and I still couldn't fix her up. And I will drive back home. And I told her this. I'm like, I'm very disappointed at you, because not only just you can put up your face for half an hour just to find actual information, and you can, once you have all this information, you can discuss with your entire family. Because I know you wouldn't listen to me at all. But I'll give you that opportunity to talk to your family, and saying that I've gained all this information. This is the current rules, blah blah blah. I cannot borrow, or I can borrow, and which car should I get? At least you have that conversation instead of getting a dead conversation. Oh, today we went to look at cars. We just look at the prices, but we didn't went extra further steps. And I'm just telling her, I'm like, man, we're 29, we're not 25. If one day I decide to get wanted to marry you or have kids, and this sort of things with your sister or other things or inexperience, will destroy everything what we have or what we're thinking or what you wanted in life. And I'm very disappointed, because I don't see nothing is going to happen in our life because you got your sister like that. And she was very shocked when I said that, because look, I see myself marrying her, but I also wanted to see what capacity, what her stress level, because the way how she reacted on that day, she was very, very cannot control herself. And it's not like we're signing 30 years mortgage, man. I'm telling you now, man. No, 40 years or 50 years. I've signed 20 years, 25 years mortgage before. So even more stressful than a car. So what I'm trying to tell her is that if we cannot solve a $20,000 car or $28,000 car, there is no point. I don't know if you cannot even handle that, then what's with you all the talks about brand new house and brand new car? And you dated me because I'm more of an action instead of a talker, and now you never said thank you for taking me out to see what cars and everything. Instead, I've been cursed, being yelled, and I'm not putting up with it. I told her, you're not on your period, and if you can't sort out with 20,000, and you believe that $28,000 Toyota entry level base level is that expensive, then and she's keep questioning why it's expensive, and I said to her the same thing. Why do you get an iPhone? Right? iPhone, there's different stages, right? You get, it's I don't know what's this new name codes, but there's like a base, medium, and upper class, right? And then I told the same thing. Why do you buy iPhone? Exactly the same thing I pushed back to her. Why don't you buy Huawei? See, you gotta, and I had to put language like, what is Huawei, what is, a phone in the phone where, oh, this is like iPhone, there's levels, it's cheap to expensive. Same as Honda and Toyota. You just gotta put it in Samsung or Huawei or one of the cheapest mobile brand, I don't know. And I had to put that sort of way to make her understand. And, I've told her many times, I'm like, you have any experience in life. You pretty much got babied through all your entire life. And I wouldn't, ideally, I wouldn't like to move in with you. I would like you to move in by yourself and live by yourself and understand reality and realism instead of, I want this, I want brand new, I want this, I have to have it. I don't want, I cry, I bitch about it because I'm not accepting that because we are close to 30 years old. We know we're not kids anymore. We don't have mama or daddy behind our backs. And unfortunately, you're dating me. I'm not as ideally income that she wanted, and she said that, but I just don't know. I just wanted to let her know I just don't want to waste her time with me. I'm not saying I'm too good for it. I'm just saying, her she'll be hitting the wall very soon. Probably she already hit it, but for her to understand these values, these life values, you have to learn it instead of having a sisters or family members always say no, 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 no. That's life, you know. And there's nothing much I could say. There's nothing much I could say about it. I'm just making this sort of diary. One day, if we ever do get break up, or one day I decided we are not ready, I'm going to show her all these videos and go through one by one because I never get told us thank me, never say she enjoyed the whole present, never said anything. Just got a big slap on the face. It's like me playing the bad person. So yeah,